Hello again and welcome back to the B&B Motorsports channel. Today I will be reviewing a 2009 Pontiac G8 GT. Just like last time, I will be giving a tour of the car, a drive, and my final review. Today I'll be helping you decide if the G8 is the car for you. Before we begin, I'd like to give a shout out to Melinda, my mother, for loaning me her daily driver. This car was produced by Holden, a company in Australia. The G8 is a rebadged Holden Commodore. One way to quickly identify a V8 version of the G8 is by these chrome door handles. The V6 versions do not contain chrome here. This car was only produced for 2 years, 2008 and 2009. The vehicle was preceded by the 2004 through 2006 Pontiac GTO and is succeeded by the Chevy SS and Chevy Caprice. As I finish my walk around, we will go and take a look at the motor. Let's take a look at the motor. This G8 holds an L76 V8 motor. Stock, it produces 355 horsepower at the flywheel. Currently, this car runs 402 horsepower at 6,000 RPMs at the tire, as well as 385 pound-foot of torque at 4,500 RPMs on a 91 octane tune. Non-stock items on this 6.0 include the oil catch can, the cold air intake, and you can see the headers right here. There's also a BTR Stage 3 cam. The transmission is a stock 6L80 with a Circle D 3400 RPM stall. The rear end is out of a Camaro SS. It has 323 gears as opposed to the stock 290 gear ratio. Thor here runs 1900 RPMs at 70 miles an hour, as opposed to the stock G8 running 1600 RPMs at 70. The exhaust from the headers back is a MagnaFlow. It's a true dual exhaust. A lot of new cars run 2 into 1 pipe running under the floorboard, but this car runs 2 pipes all the way back, adding some extra sound. The wheels are off of a 2016 Chevy SS, a 275 series in the back, 245s in the front. Cadillac CTS-V front and rear disc brakes are featured, which includes the better rotors and calipers. Personal pros of mine include the bright red paint, Chevy SS wheels, and the front fender flares. It goes without saying, the power output is pretty great too. The exhaust lope is my favorite part of the car, which you will hear shortly. The cons list is short and sweet. The gas cap is on the passenger side instead of the driver's side, a minor inconvenience. For my 2-door fans, unfortunately, the car is a 4-door. I personally don't mind some 4-door sedans. I still find it sporty, but I know plenty of die-hard 2-door fans. If the body hasn't already convinced you to purchase a G8, maybe look at the interior well. The G8 had 3 interior options: cloth, leather, and a 2-tone leather coming in black and red. As you can see, this car contains the sharp-looking 2-tone, a sunroof, 6-disc CD player, and an aux port were also features of the upgraded package. This gauge cluster above the radio is a non-stock item, showing oil pressure, transmission temperature, and oil temperature. That transmission temperature sure comes in handy during rush hour. Where are the window switches and door locks? Here they are, an Australian design that takes some getting used to. Let's talk pros. The two-tone leather interior, as well as the upgraded options, are the way to go. Without some of the nice amenities such as the CD player, the aux port, and the sunroof, the car just seems kind of plain. Heated seats are also a plus, especially in the winter. I really recommend the additional gauge cluster, as I have found that to come in handy many times. The leather-wrapped steering wheel fits in your hands perfectly. The back seat is also very spacious, as this car can ride 5 people comfortably. As far as cons go, the list is fairly short. The window switches and door locks are located in the center of the car near the console, which takes some getting used to. G8s are known for their headliners going bad early on. The exhaust can drone on long trips, so backseat passengers sometimes find themselves having difficulty hearing front seat conversation over the radio and loud exhaust. Let's look at the key. This key is fairly simple with a lock, unlock, trunk release, and remote start button. As if you needed any more convincing, let's start him up. Listen to that exhaust. Now you can really hear that exhaust I was talking about. That is the true dual exhaust, and it is really pulsing. Listen to that low. Time for a drive. Let's go. On first impression, the car's a sleeper. When parked and turned off, it just looks like another shiny family car. However, when you fire him up and turn on those 364 cubic inches of fun, he really lives up to his name as the God of Thunder. Under light throttle, the car's acceleration may seem hesitant at first due to the stall converter that I talked about previously. However, there is plenty of power to have fun from stoplight to stoplight. I must note, backseat passengers may notice a deeper exhaust tone while riding, if you remember from the cons section. If you also recall from my previous video with my 1997 Camaro, I noted how there was a lack of stability control and tendency for rear end movement upon hard acceleration. That is an issue with the G8s. Surely I've convinced you to buy a G8 by now. Let's head back for my final review. Before we begin our final review, I have to add in a clip from Thor and I on the drag strip in Texas this summer. We were on the Show Me Rally. The G8 was the fastest rear-wheel drive sedan, running times better than a 2020 Hellcat. The car sure is efficient. It's time for the final review. Performance, 9 out of 10. The car has enough power to have fun, but the accelerations will not get away from you. Aesthetics, 7.5 out of 10. This might seem confusing considering my glowing review of the pros portion of this video. However, the 4-door layout just is not as preferable to most buyers in comparison to a 2-door layout. I would also like to add that the GXP front end looks more aesthetically pleasing than the GT front end. Comfort, 8 out of 10. The leather interior is very comfortable for all passengers. There's plenty of room in the back seat for 3 people to fit spaciously, as well as plenty of room for the driver and passenger in the front seat. Fun factor, 9.5 out of 10. This car is extremely fun thanks to its high performance and exhaust. I think the lope of the exhaust is the best part of the car.
Practicality, 7 out of 10. The only downsides of the car are the gas mileage and the tires. The car runs on 93 octane, and I'm sure you can imagine how low the gas mileage is. The tires are a 3-season compound that do not do well in the winter. Overall experience, 9 out of 10. The car is the perfect blend of convenience and entertainment. You'll be looking good, having fun, and driving comfortably. Thanks for listening to B&B Motorsports. Make sure you check out my video from last week where I review my 1997 Camaro, which is my college daily driver. And comment down below what you would like to see me review next.